What if the blood pressure check decides whether you dance at your grandson's wedding or watch from a hospital bed? 73-year-old Mr. Carter just last month shrugged off dizziness until an ER monitor flashed 210 over 110. He's not alone. Over 7 in 10 Americans past 60 battle hypertension. Today we'll unveil 3 natural levers to drop those numbers without upending life. When was your last reading? See why pressure turns perilous.
1. Why high blood pressure turns deadly. High blood pressure is sneaky because you can feel fine while it rearranges the wiring inside your arteries. In the short term, those crushing numbers push extra fluid into delicate tissues, so you might wake up with a pounding head, see the room blur when you stand, or feel your heart thudding like a bass drum after climbing one flight of stairs. Doctors call these hypertensive urgencies, and they're warning flares that your system is working overtime. Leave that pressure unchecked, and the damage compounds. Constant force roughens artery walls, sparking plaque that narrows vital highways to the brain and heart. Within a year, risk of stroke quintuplets. Within 5, uncontrolled hypertension triples your odds of heart failure and silently scars the tiny filters in your kidneys until dialysis becomes the only option. In men, it even accelerates erectile dysfunction by choking blood flow. It can also steal restorative sleep night after night. Each of these outcomes grows from the same root: too much pressure, too many days in a row. The upside is that the reverse is also true. Lower the pressure, and the hazards retreat. Let's map a 3-layer plan that brings those numbers down safely and steadily together.
2. 3-layer natural remedy blueprint. A. Foundation. Set the stage for safe pressure drops. Think of your arteries as garden hoses. Turn the faucet down before you replace the nozzle. The simplest dial back is food. Build a DASH-inspired plate each meal. Half colorful produce, 1/4 lean protein, such as grilled salmon or skinless chicken, and the last quarter hearty whole grains. Season with herbs, citrus, or a light shake of Mrs. Dash so daily sodium stays below 1,500 milligrams. That alone can shave 5 to 7 points off systolic readings. Hydrate with plain water or unsweetened tea, not sodas that sneak in sodium and sugar. Next, move your body in a way joints applaud. The American Heart Association's 150-minute weekly target sounds steep until you break it into 5 30-minute strolls around the neighborhood or 3 water aerobics classes your Medicare Advantage plan may already cover. Finally, if you smoke, every cigarette clamps arteries for 20 minutes. Quitting is the single fastest way to widen those vessels again. Tackling these 3 habits together lays a sturdy slab that keeps the rest of the plan from sinking. B. Optimization. Tune the system for steadier flow. Once the basics feel automatic, slide into fine-tuning. Dropping just 5 to 10 pounds, about the weight of a holiday turkey, typically lowers systolic pressure by another 4 to 6 points. And you don't need marathon medals to get there. Replace one evening TV episode with a loop around the block, trade mayo for avocado spread, and let the scale nudge down in half-pound increments. Stress is the second hidden valve. When deadlines, grandkid chaos, or cable news crank you up, cortisol stiffens artery walls. A 5-minute box breathing drill. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold again, acts like an internal pressure release, and you can do it in the recliner. Gentle yoga or a chair-based Tai Chi video on the big screen smart TV adds calm while sneaking in flexibility work. Don't overlook sleep. 7 solid hours allows blood vessels to relax and repair. If late-night bathroom trips sabotage rest, stop fluids an hour earlier and ask your pharmacist whether timing of diuretics can shift to mornings. Each tweak percolates through the entire cardiovascular network, squeezing out a few more millimeters of mercury without a single pill change.
C. Enhancement and monitoring. Keep gains, catch slippage early.
Technology turns maintenance into a light chore instead of a guessing game. Pick up an automatic arm cuff approved by the American Medical Association. Many retailers flag them with a gold validated device icon. Take 2 readings each morning before coffee and each night before brushing teeth. Then average the pair. Your target, unless a doctor says otherwise, is below 130/80. Log numbers in the cuff's smartphone app or a simple spiral notebook. Trends matter more than any one spike. Every 3 months, share that log with your primary care provider or a community pharmacist running a MedSync clinic. They can check whether current prescriptions still match your real-world readings and diet shifts. If you see a steady rise over 2 weeks, say 5 points up on both top and bottom numbers, pause, review salt intake, stress, and sleep, then adjust. Safety first. Stop exercise and seek help immediately if a home reading tops 180/120 or chest pain appears. Regular monitoring doesn't just prevent emergencies, it lets you celebrate wins, like the first week your averages dip into the 120s. Throughout every layer, remember the mantra, apply sparingly, monitor, adjust. Start with 1 or 2 actions, stick with them for a week, eyeball the log, then either double down or pivot. Progress won't be perfectly linear, and that's okay. What matters is the overall downward slope and how energized you feel chasing grandkids or tending tomatoes. If parts of this blueprint clash with your joints, taste buds, or wallet, stay tuned. Flexible evidence-backed substitutions are up next, so no one gets left behind on the road to steadier numbers.
3. Flexible alternatives and substitutions. Equivalent alternatives. Same muscle, different outfit. Food swap. If the dash plate feels too broccoli heavy, try a Mediterranean twist. Drizzle a teaspoon of olive oil over tomatoes, sprinkle feta, and add a fist-size scoop of chickpeas. It keeps sodium low, pumps in potassium, and research shows it trims systolic pressure almost as well as dash, perfect for taste buds that crave garlic and herbs. Movement swap. Arthritic knees don't love hills? Slide into seated Tai Chi or a Silver Sneakers chair yoga class streamed on YouTube. 10 slow minutes still lube the joints and nudge diastolic numbers south. For cold winters or high crime blocks, a recumbent bike parked in front of your favorite show replicates a stroll without icy sidewalks or traffic fumes. Stress swap. If breath counting feels awkward, play 4 minutes of nature sound meditation or hum along with a gospel track. Both melt cortisol and soften post-pressure. Selection rule is, choose the version you can repeat 4 days a week. Consistency beats perfection. Additional support. Gentle boosters, not magic bullets. Beetroot juice. 1 small, 8-ounce, glass supplies nitrates that can drop systolic readings 4 to 5 points within hours. Watch out. Skip if you take nitrate meds for chest pain or have advanced kidney disease. Hibiscus tea. 2 cups daily provide polyphenols linked to lower diastolic numbers. It's cheap at most grocery stores. Limitation. May amplify hydrochlorothiazide's effect. Monitor for lightheadedness. Dark chocolate. A single square, 70% cacao, about 150 calories, offers flavonols that improve artery flexibility, making date night sweeter without sugar spikes. Fresh ground flaxseed. 2 tablespoons, stirred into oatmeal, add omega-3s and fiber that help weight and pressure control. Store in the freezer to protect oils. Selection rule. Add only 1 booster at a time for 2 weeks so you can spot what actually helps. C. Choosing wisely. Personal filters. Ask 3 quick questions. Is it affordable for my fixed income? Does it fit my medical chart? Will I enjoy it enough to keep going? Drop options that fail even one test. Pressure management is a marathon, not a sprint. Before you stock the pantry or click Add to Cart, let's scan the fine print on safety. Certain health conditions and meds can turn a natural hero into trouble. 4. Contraindications, drug interactions, and safety guardrails. Before anyone races to the pantry or the walking trail, let's lay out clear safety rails. Most healthy seniors can ease into the blueprint without hiccups, yet certain medical situations demand a slower roll or a doctor's green light. Advanced kidney disease, stage 3 and beyond, limits how well your body handles sudden shifts in sodium or potassium. And unchecked supplements can tip the scales toward dangerous electrolyte imbalances. Active arrhythmias, uncontrolled diabetes, or recent heart attack recovery periods also call for professional oversight. A 10-minute televisit can tailor the plan so enthusiasm doesn't outrun physiology. Prescription and over-the-counter drugs deserve just as much respect. Pairing beetroot juice with nitrate medications such as nitroglycerin or isosorbide can tank blood pressure too far, triggering fainting spells. Hibiscus tea may double the punch of hydrochlorothiazide, leaving you lightheaded when you stand. If you're on ACE inhibitors, potassium-rich salt substitutes, or heart-healthy smoothie powders could send potassium soaring, which stresses both heart rhythm and kidneys. Warfarin users should keep dark green veggies and cocoa products consistent day to day. Wildly swinging vitamin K intakes make dosing a moving target. Anytime you add or subtract something from the routine, run it by the pharmacist. Most chain stores now offer quick med review kiosks at no charge. Know the red flags that say, "Stop and call." A home reading over 180 by 120 that stays high after 5 minutes of rest. Sudden chest pain, pounding headaches coupled with blurry vision, new ankle swelling that climbs up the calves, or shortness of breath that worsens despite rest. Experiencing any of these means pausing the regimen and dialing emergency services or at least your primary care line the same day. Stick to general guardrails while you're in the clear. Keep sodium below 1,500 milligrams, beet juice to 8 ounces, dark chocolate to 1 square, about an ounce, and supplemental potassium under 3,500 milligrams unless your clinician approves higher. Buy supplements bearing the USP or NSF seal so you know the label matches what's inside. And replace home cuff batteries every 6 months to keep readings honest. Safety isn't the opposite of progress. It's the foundation that makes every win sustainable. Now that the boundaries are drawn, let's talk about the encouraging signs, both subtle and obvious, that show your efforts are actually paying off.
5. Improvement indicators and tracking progress. A. Subjective signals. The first victories often whisper before they shout. Many seniors report waking up with a clearer head within the first 7 to 10 days, no longer bracing for that familiar temple throb. Afternoon energy stretches further. Climbing basement stairs to fetch laundry feels less like a leg day workout, and evening TV marathons no longer end with calves cramping. Nighttime bathroom trips may drop from 3 to 1. A sign kidneys are no longer scrambling to balance pressure. 2 weeks in, some men notice steadier stamina during intimacy, thanks to better blood flow. Each of these feelings is personal, so jot a simple good, okay, rough beside the date in a notebook or phone note. Patterns matter more than any single day. B. Objective numbers. Home cuffs translate those vibes into data your doctor trusts. Target an average drop of 5 points on the top, systolic, and 2 on the bottom, diastolic, after the first month. If morning readings hover around 128.78 for 2 consecutive weeks, when they used to sit at 138.84, you're on the right track. Resting heart rate often falls 5 beats per minute as arteries relax, and smartwatches or inexpensive finger pulse oximeters can verify that shift. Step counters tell their own story. Hitting 6,000 steps most days, up from 3,500, is a concrete badge of progress. For lab-oriented folks,
ask your provider to recheck basic metabolic panels and cholesterol at the 3-month mark. Watching LDL creep down reinforces that lifestyle tweaks are working at the molecular level. C. Tracking and adjusting. Use a 3-color code: green for maintain, yellow for tweak, red for call the doc. If average systolic readings settle below 130 and you feel great, mark green. If they stall between 130 and 140, highlight yellow and review salt sneaks or missed walks. Readings above 140 for 2 straight weeks, or any single spike over 180, move to red. Pause strenuous activity and phone your care team. The log isn't homework. It's a conversation starter that catches small slips before they snowball. Now that you know how to spot momentum and when to wave the caution flag, let's pull the journey together and invite you into the conversation before we land the final takeaway. Before we wrap up, slide down to the comments and tell me the symptoms you're wrestling with, or the condition that keeps you up at night. I answer every note personally or devote a whole follow-up video when several of you share the same concern, because no one should navigate health questions alone. Your story could spark the tip that lets someone else hug their grandkids. And if today's guide helped, tap like and share it with friends so this life-saving knowledge doesn't stop with you.
6. Community call, summary, and takeaway. High pressure creeps quietly, but amplifies danger every unchecked day. You've seen how a 3-layer plan, foundation habits, smart optimizations, and diligent monitoring releases that grip, and how safety rails and clear progress markers keep improvements on track. The thread running through it all is agency. Each small choice at the dinner table or on the walking path rewrites the future of your heart, brain, and kidneys. Takeaway: your best medicine often starts in the kitchen and on the sidewalk. Mantra: small daily choices, steady pressure control. Let that line echo whenever the cuff strap's on.